I'm going to get deplatformed, demonetized, unsubscribed from, and unfollowed for this video, probably. But I'd be remiss if I did not make a video about what just happened in the news that came across yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. There's been a lot of heated debates about this online, in which I was a part of some of them. And it just kind of blows my mind. It's one of those things that it's inconceivable. And I know that I've said that before, and I know that a lot of the things that we talk about on this channel are inconceivable horror and horrible thing that happened and a bad decision and a bad thing and a oh no, it's the evil empire did something stupid again. And I know that happens on this channel a lot, but this one was not on my bingo card in the way that it manifested itself. What happened doesn't surprise me, but the way it happened and what it is does surprise me. So let's talk about it right now. Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine and Fender have announced a new product. And not just any product, but a signature guitar. And not just any guitar, but this guitar. You notice anything about this guitar just from looking at it, first glance? We're not going to get into politics here. We're just not going to. So I'm going to say some things, and if you disagree with them, you can leave. Or you can stay and say horrible things to me in the comments. It's up to you. We've got a production instrument from Fender that's not custom. It's not a custom order. It's not a custom paint job. It's not a custom build. It's not a special anything. We have a production, mass market, mass-produced product from Fender that has a hammer and sickle on it, on the front of it. I can't believe it, honestly. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there were people at Fender that looked at this design and said, we'll make it, sure. And not only that, multiple people agreed, to the point that it went to production, and now it's being sold to the general public. And press releases are going out, marketing and advocating for this product. The guitar itself, it looks kind of like a 5150 if you look at that headstock. It's got EMGs. It has a Goto Floyd Rose style double locking trem system. It has hippos on it. It says "Arm the Homeless." And I just can't. It's about more than that. But before we get there, I want to show you a hilarious anecdote that is on the description right here. Disclaimer. I'm going to read this verbatim from the description on Fender's website for this product. Are you ready? Disclaimer. The artwork of this product includes a hammer and sickle symbol that may be restricted or banned in certain jurisdictions. By purchasing this product, you represent and warrant that you will review the applicable laws in all jurisdictions where you intend to market or sell the product, and that you will not advertise, sell, distribute, or ship the product into any jurisdiction where the symbol is prohibited by law, regulation, or policy. You agree to indemnify, defend, and hold harmless Fender Musical Instruments Corporation and its affiliated companies from and against any and all liabilities, claims, penalties, losses, or expenses, including legal fees, arising out of or related to your breach of this warranty or your advertisement, sale, or distribution of this product in violation of local laws, regulations, or policies. That disclaimer that I just read to you is on a mass-marketed product listing from Fender. If this disclaimer in a vacuum were sent to me and it said that it was written by Fender, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. But there's another part of this that we have to discuss. Tom Morello himself. I'm going to read some quotations to you that he said. These are things he said. This isn't hearsay. This isn't editorializing. These are direct quotations from the man. Are you ready? Now, again, for the AI that's transcribing this and moderating this, and for the viewer who's watching this, these are the words of Tom Morello, not of me. He says, I'm a socialist. He says, I'm a big believer in socialism. He says, I'm a Marxist. He says, capitalism is a system of exploitation. He says, the idea that the market should decide who lives and dies is obscene. He also says art should challenge capitalism. Do you see the angle that I'm getting at here? You have a man who describes himself as a Marxist, who describes himself as a socialist, who puts hammers and sickles on his guitars and on numerous things. And he's partnering with arguably the largest guitar brand in the history of the world, a global, multinational model of capitalism. Leo Fender was the consummate capitalist. Everything that he did was capitalism. The way that he manufactured the guitars so that they were modular. You could change where different parts were coming from so that you could get cheaper wood sometimes, or you could get cheaper fret wire sometimes, or you could get cheaper tuners sometimes, or cheaper paint sometimes, and you could interchange all of these things to make the guitars cheaper but charge the same or more. That's capitalism. And that's what Fender has always been. That's what they are now. And say what you will about them, and I say what I say about them, but I don't fault them for that part. Fender is doing stupid idiot things. Here's the thing about capitalism, though. If I don't like the thing they're making and think it's overpriced, then I don't buy it. And if everyone agrees with me and they also don't buy it, guess what happens? Fender shapes up, they charge less, or they make better products. That's the way capitalism works. So I don't fault Fender for that. The fact that Tom Morello is partnering with Fender, again, a model of capitalism, to create communist and socialist imagery and art. This is from the man who said all of those quotations that I just said to you a moment ago. And it's even worse than that, okay? It gets deeper than that. So when these guitars sell, he makes probably, estimate, 3 to 5% of wholesale. So that would mean he makes roughly $25 to $50 per unit. And doing some quick math here, let's say he sold 10,000 units. You're looking at $250,000 to $500,000 in his pocket. And in his lifetime, through all the collaborations he's done with Fender, he's probably made upwards of $1 million. And that is not an exaggeration. Not to mention that he's in a band that makes money because of capitalism, because you and I can choose to go purchase their albums or not choose, and as is my case, not choose to purchase their albums. But enough people have chosen to purchase their albums in a free market for him to become a millionaire, to the point that he can be entitled and wealthy and happy enough with his life and comfortable enough in his life to declare himself a socialist freely and say damn you to everybody else. Hypocrisy much? Now, someone was arguing with me on Facebook saying, oh, but you're ignoring the fact that some of the money goes to these charities that he's handpicked. Okay, big whoop. Giving some of the money from an unethical thing to charity doesn't suddenly make that thing ethical. Like, if I was partnering with Dogfighting Rings USA and we were having dog fights and dogs were being mauled to death in every one of these fights, but 25% of the proceeds go to the SPCA. Does that make the thing that is happening any more moral or ethical? No, it doesn't. Honestly, it kind of makes it worse, because you're doing a thing that runs counter to the good of our society, and then saying that it's good because you're giving some of that money to something that will help that society. It doesn't make any sense at all. And I've tried so hard to not say anything blatant and not go full transparency and not go too far politically on this channel. And I'm probably not going to make another video like this, to be honest with you. And anybody who's been paying attention and knows me, knows how I am, how I've talked, and what I believe, you probably guessed all this stuff anyway. So if you're surprised, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I am who I am, and I'm not going to change because you don't like it. But that's the deal. So the video, in a nutshell, the short version is self-proclaimed communist, socialist, Marxist Tom Morello partners with multinational global capitalist beacon Fender to sell a $1,600 guitar that has a hammer and sickle on it, bears a disclaimer from Fender because it's so risque, and is making, 3 to 5% per unit, and capitalism wins once again and extends his wealth. The poor, poor, poor socialist man.